There was a prophet in Israel whose name carried weight across the entire kingdom.
Did you see his face? He wouldn't leave us without help.
Kings sent messengers to his door.
He wouldn't leave us
Generals
without help.
crossed borders seeking his help. Widows clung to hope because of the stories they had heard about this man of God. He turned bitter water sweet with a simple bowl of
Go
salt.
and sell the oil.
He multiplied a single jar of oil until debts were erased and futures were restored. He healed a foreign commander of a disease no army could ever conquer.
You will have water, and you will defeat this army.
He struck entire enemy forces with blindness and led them helpless into Israel's hands. And when death itself came knocking, he prayed and life returned. Miracle after miracle, year after year, the question grew louder in the streets. What kind of man carries this much of God's presence? But the most haunting part of Elisha's story didn't happen while he was alive. It happened after he had been dead for years, his body buried, his tomb sealed and silent. One day, in the chaos of a hurried funeral, a corpse was thrown into that same grave. The moment flesh touched those ancient bones, death released its grip. The man's eyes opened, his chest rose, and he stood alive again in the darkness of a tomb. How does God's power cling to someone so completely that even death cannot wash it away? This is the story of Elisha, a journey that started in an ordinary
Pull
field.
harder! Come on, move! We must keep moving!
Elisha's story begins in the soil, the kind that clings to your hands and settles under your nails. He was guiding the 12th yoke of oxen, a sign of a hard-working family. He was steadily carving paths across the field, the rhythm of the day simple and predictable. That is precisely when God tends to move in the middle of the ordinary. Elijah approached without announcement, without trumpet or command. He simply placed his mantle, the symbol of prophetic authority, across Elisha's shoulders. A mantle resting for a moment, then lifted again. The moment carried its own weight, heaven speaking through fabric and touch. Elisha knew it instantly. A divine calling often arrives in a whisper, not a spectacle.
They are in desperate need of our help.
He left the plow behind
They are in
and
desperate
ran
need of
after
our help.
Elijah.
Look to the village. They are in desperate need of our help.
The words he spoke were not of hesitation, but of honor, a request to say farewell to his parents. Elijah's answer carried both freedom and challenge, an invitation to choose without pressure. Elisha returned home only long enough to make a statement that would resonate for generations. He
And so
dismantled the
Lord delivered
plow,
us from the hand
the
of the
very
Midianites.
tool of his livelihood, and used its wood to build a fire. He prepared the oxen as a meal for his community, a final act of generosity. It was a declaration that there would be no turning back to his old life. Then, with the fire behind him and the mantle ahead of him, Elisha followed Elijah.
The
He
time is
served as a
coming when I
servant,
shall be taken
walking
from you.
behind a man whose
But you must
footsteps would
continue.
train his own heart. Every day, with the prophet, formed something deep within him, a steadiness and sensitivity. And then came the day when everything felt different. Elijah's steps were slower, his voice quieter, as if he carried a secret. They began in Gilgal, where Elijah turned to him and said, "Stay here, for the Lord has sent me on." It sounded gentle, like a father shielding a son, but Elisha would not let distance separate them. He answered with a resolve shaped through years of service. "As the Lord lives, I will not leave you."
What shall we do now?
They
Master
walked
Elisha,
together to
the grain
Bethel,
stores in Gilgal
where the
are
sons
empty,
of the
and the people are
prophets
beginning to
whispered
starve.
to Elisha. "Do you know the Lord will take your master from you today?" Elisha acknowledged them only briefly.
Know that the
Some
Lord
moments are
requires
too sacred to dissect. Again, Elijah urged him to stay behind, and again Elisha
Why
refused to let
halt ye
go.
between two opinions? If the Lord be God,
At Jericho, the scene repeated, the quiet request to remain and the firm refusal to part.
Hear the word of the
Loyalty
Lord,
had
O
become the
Israel.
language between
Turn
them,
from your ways and
spoken
receive the
through
blessings he-
footsteps and silence. Finally, they reached the banks of the Jordan River. Elijah folded his mantle and struck the waters, and the river obeyed, pulling back.
if you see me when I am taken,
They crossed on dry ground, just as Israel once had under Joshua. On the far side, Elijah stopped and asked, "What shall I do for you before I am taken?" Elisha did not speak of safety or legacy. He asked for something that revealed his heart. "Let a double portion of your spirit be upon me." He understood the road ahead would be heavy, and he desired the strength to carry it. Elijah's answer was tender. "If you see me when I am taken, it shall be so." They walked a little farther, speaking softly, the wind feeling warmer and heavier. Then, without warning, the air began to tremble.
My father! My father! The chariots of Israel!
A blaze of glory tore through the horizon, a sound too fierce to be thunder. A chariot of fire pulled by horses of fire descended between them. Flames moved like living light, carrying a presence that made silence feel holy. Elisha staggered back as the chariot separated him from Elijah. Elijah was lifted toward the heavens in a whirlwind, rising
Where is
through
the Lord,
light and
the
flame.
God of Elijah?
Elisha cried out, my father, the chariots of Israel and its horsemen."
Did
He
you see
watched
that?
until he could
Look
see
down
no
there.
more, and the sky returned to
Unbelievable!
stillness.
The spirit of Elijah rests on Elisha.
At his feet lay the mantle, the same one Elijah had placed on him years ago. Elisha tore his garments in
The water
grief,
here is poison,
then picked up
prophet.
the mantle.
The prophet, you must help us. The people of the city are starving. The drought has taken everything.
He walked back toward the Jordan, the waters rushing before him. Holding the mantle high, he struck the river and spoke, "Where is the
By
Lord,
the word of the
God
Lord,
of Elijah?"
let this water be healed.
The river answered. It divided without hesitation, opening a path. From a distance, the sons of the prophets saw it and understood. The spirit of Elijah now rested on Elisha.
They
A
mean
new
to take my
prophet had
sons.
risen,
Please,
and
Master,
heaven had
help
made it
me.
unmistakably clear. Soon after, messengers from Jericho approached him about their corrupted water. The water caused sickness and death, turning hope into a constant struggle.
Look
Elisha
around you.
asked for a new
The
bowl
Almighty
filled
will
with
grant you
salt
many
and went to
blessings.
the spring.
Far
He poured the salt and declared, "I have healed this water. It will no
don't
longer
understand.
bring death."
Where is it all coming from?
It's a miracle.
From that day, the spring flowed with purity, a sign of God restoring the broken. Later,
Yes, set that
a
stone
widow
right there.
came to him
Carefully
in
now. Make
desperate
sure the mortar
anguish.
is even.
Do not be afraid, for the Lord has heard your plea. By this time next, do
Her
not
husband
be
was
afraid,
dead,
for the Lord
and a
has heard your
creditor was
plea.
coming to take her
By
2
this time
sons
next-
as slaves. She had nothing in her house but a small
Ease,
jar of
ease.
oil. Elisha told her to borrow empty vessels from neighbors and pour the oil behind closed doors. She poured, and the oil flowed,
O Lord my
filling
God.
vessel after
Let the-
vessel until she ran out of jars.
O Lord my God, let the
She sold the oil, paid her debt, and saved her family, proving God needs only willingness, not abundance. In Shunem, a wealthy
thank you, man
woman
of
built a
God.
room for Elisha to
My
rest.
son.
In return, Elisha promised her a son, despite her husband's old age.
He
The
bids
boy
you
was
wash in the
born,
Jordan
but
7
years
times, my
later,
lord.
he collapsed
Are
in the
not the rivers
field
of
and
Damascus
died. The woman did not accept death. She rode to find the man of God. Elisha returned, went into the room alone, and stretched himself over the boy. Warmth returned to the body, and the boy sneezed 7 times and opened his eyes. God, through Elisha, showed that he does not abandon the gifts he gives. Then came Naaman,
Alas,
the mighty
master,
Syrian commander
it was
who
borrowed.
suffered from leprosy. He came expecting a grand ceremony, but was told to wash 7 times in a Jordan. Though offended at first, he obeyed, and his skin was restored like a child's.
Now a bow.
Naaman learned that obedience opens doors that strength cannot. One day, the sons of the prophets were cutting wood by the river.
Alas, my master!
An axe head flew off a handle and sank into the murky water. The young man cried out to Elisha, for the axe was borrowed. Elisha threw a stick into the water, and the iron axe head floated to the surface.
Keep
It was a
moving forward.
whisper
The path
to
is clear
every
before me.
generation. God cares about our daily
This
stresses.
water is refreshing. We are grateful for your generosity.
Eat.
Years later, the Syrian army surrounded Dothan to capture Elisha.
The chariot
Elisha's
of Israel
servant was
and the
terrified
horsemen
by the
thereof.
horses and chariots
unto-
encircling the city. Elisha prayed, "Lord, open his eyes so that he may see." The servant looked again and saw the mountains full of horses and chariots of fire.
It is a miracle. He lives.
They were never alone. The armies of heaven stood there.
The king
Elisha
humbly
led the
requests
blind
your
army
counsel,
to
prophet.
Samaria,
Peace be
fed
upon
them,
you. Let
and
us,
sent
the
them
king
home in
humbly
peace.
requests your counsel, prophet. Peace be upon you. Let us, the king
Finally,
humbly requests
Elisha
your
grew
counsel,
old
prophet.
and
Peace
fell
be upon
sick
you.
with the
Let us,
illness
the
of which he
king
would
humbly
die.
requests your counsel, prophet. Peace be upon you. Let us, the
He
king
was
humbly
buried,
requests your
a man
counsel,
who had walked
prophet.
faithfully
Peace be
with his
upon you.
God.
Let us, the king humbly requests your counsel, prophet. Peace be upon you. Let us, the
But
king
even
humbly
then,
requests
God
your
was not
counsel, prophet.
finished.
Peace be upon you. Let us, the king humbly requests your counsel, prophet. Peace be upon you. Let us, the
When a
king
dead
humbly
man was
requests your
thrown
counsel,
into
prophet.
Elisha's tomb,
Peace be upon you.
the bones of the
Let us,
prophet
king
brought him
humbly
back to
requests
life.
your counsel, prophet. Peace be upon you. Let us, the king
Elisha's
humbly
story
requests
is a
your
legacy
counsel,
that
prophet.
shouts,
Peace be upon
God's
you.
power
Let
has
us,
no
the king
end.
humbly requests your counsel, prophet. Peace be upon you. Let us,